Welcome back, trainers. So Regigigas is now the next EX Raid boss, in which I do have one later today. Don't worry, it's only going to be around for a couple of months, so it's not going to be around for a whole year or anything. But first, before we do take a look at all of those things, I just wanted to show you that the rocket radars are now back in the shop. That can be a big time saver for you. I did go on a spending spree and bought a ton of them so I can do the rest of my tutorials regarding Arlo and 1500 CP challenges. So yeah. With the snow here now, it is going to be so much easier just buying these rocket radars, and seeing that they weren't in the shop for so long, I'm not taking any chances, and I bought a ton of them anyways. So if we can get this video to 1500 likes, I will be maxing out my Regigigas. That's right. If we can get there, guys, I will max it out, go to the gyms, raids, and test it out. I don't care what CP or IV I get, at least from the next EX Raid, but I will do that as soon as you guys get this video to 1500. If you're new, also subscribe and turn notifications on so I can keep you up to date on everything Pokemon Go. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at its stats. So 100% IV without any sort of weather boost is going to be 2483. Now, if you do have partly cloudy weather, that is going to be 3104. Taking a look at its moves, it does have hidden power, which can be anything but normal or fairy, as well as Zen Headbutt. With the charge moves, it does have Giga Impact, which is going to be an extremely strong move, which it will be getting stabbed from Thunder, and then Focus Blast. So not too much to work with this thing. I mean, if you get hidden power, possibly electric, then you have a Thunder and quick move combination there. If you get hidden power fighting, then you have that. But like we just went over, you can't get hidden power normal, so that's out of the question for getting stab, unfortunately, as well as fairy typing. Maybe you can possibly get hidden power ghost. I don't see how much that would be helping you out there, but personally for me, I do have hidden power fire, and if I did have to pick any one of them, it really did depend. If I maxed it out, I'd probably just fluctuate between the hidden power that whatever it did have and then Zen Headbutt. But something to take note of is, well, it is going to be fighting type, right? So Zen Headbutt on that as a quick move can prove to possibly be a little bit troublesome for your fighting type Pokemon. So despite the horrible moveset it does have, Giga Impact being pretty strong though, it does hold up as one of the top damage outputting Pokemon simply because of its massive attack and how strong Giga Impact really is. Focus Blast is not a horrible move. I mean, it's not the best or nothing. It does a lot of damage, but as far as some sort of, Pokemon you want to use to go up against a raid, I really don't see too much usability, other than it's just raw power with Giga Impact. So basically, don't go up against something that's going to be resisting normal like ghosts, rock, or steel. Otherwise, you'll be looking good for neutral damage, especially if you're in partly cloudy weather and you want to use this to attack a gym, although you're going to have much better options all around the table. Unfortunately, we cannot drop these in gyms, because if you were able to, I guess it might be able to be pretty good, although other people are going to be dropping in Blissey, Snorlax, Slacking, all things that are weak to fighting along with this thing. So we're still waiting for the day on which we can finally drop legendary Pokemon in a gym. Not too sure if we're ever going to see that day. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the counters here. So of course, you guessed it, Machamp number 1. I mean, what else is going to be there? All right, so if you do have cloudy weather, you're going to get a boost on your fighting types. Therefore, all of these times will be cut down in half, as well as the Pokemon that you're going to have to be using. Now, how many people is it going to take this out? Maybe two in cloudy weather, all Machamps. Let's see what we can do. Otherwise, you'll be sitting pretty comfortable with about, I'd say, 4 to 5 people. If you do not have too many people in your area that do receive the EX Raid Pass, just go in there with all the fighting types that you possibly can use. Now, taking a look at Machamp, obviously, counter Dynamic Punch, it's going to take 53 of those with a time to win of 792 seconds. Then Breloom, it's going to take 60 of those, so significant amount more of those because it is going to be kind of classy with a time to win of 820 seconds. Then Hariyama, counter Dynamic Punch, 56 of those, time to win 857 seconds. Then you have Toxicroak, which does need to look out for that Zen Headbutt. Yes, all of the fighting types need to look out for that, but Toxicroak being a fighting and poison will be taking extra damage. But if you're going in there with a big group of people, don't think you really have too much to worry about. That one has a time to win of 867 seconds. As you can see, it's going to take 61 of those. Up next is going to be Heracross with counter and close combat. It's going to take 58 of those with a time to win of 949 seconds. So the time did jump up quite a bit from those other fighting types. And then you have Mewtwo with Psycho Cut and Psy Strike. It's going to take 54 of those with a time to win of 977 seconds. Now, if you're wondering why Mewtwo, well, Mewtwo is literally the top damage outputting Pokemon. So it is going to be put on the list here because of that. And then you have Regigigas itself with hidden power, fighting, and Giga Impact. So there you go. Regigigas is already shining as far as that massive attack and that Giga Impact doing a ton of damage. It is literally a counter against itself with that hidden power fighting. And then moving on, we do have Lucario with counter and power up punch. Sitting at that number 8 spot, it is going to take 78 of those with a time to win of 990 seconds. And then you have Gallade with low kick, such a horrible move, low kick, ugh. And then close combat, it's going to take 61 of those with a time to win of over 1,000 seconds. And then we have Blaziken with counter and Blaze Kick. If you're wondering, well, why not Focus Blast? I am not too sure. I think Focus Blast might have been a better option, but in this case, it's saying Blaze Kick. But personally, I feel like Focus Blast, yet again, another Pokemon over 1,000 seconds. And then you have Metagross with Bullet Punch and Meteor Match. It's going to take only 44 of those with a time to win of over 1,000 seconds. And then Golurk with Mudslap Dynamic Punch, over 1,000 seconds to win. So you kind of want to stick to those Machamps, Breloom's, Hariyamas, and possibly Mewtwo's. Alright, now let's go ahead and discuss normal types for a moment to see exactly what they're even going to be good for. So you do have the Blissey, the Snorlax, the Slackings, not so much the Slackings, but the Blissey, the Snorlax that you do drop in a gym, which can be pretty good. But if you get everybody dropping all these normal types in the gym, I mean, the attacker simply has to go in there with fighting types, and they're just going to destroy you with their eyes closed and tapping the screen. I mean, you do have decent Pokemon like Vigoroth, which did own the Jungle Cup, and your nice shiny Pokemon, of course. I have a ton of Persian maxed out, and they actually perform pretty good. Wigglytuff, shiny, it proved to be alright. Maxed out at Delcatty. You know, these things I do for fun because of PvP. But for the most part, regarding all the other normal types, I mean, there's great ones. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Most of the good normal types are going to be a dual typing of something else. I mean, simple as that. I'm not too sure why this one didn't show up on the list as a counter and close combat. It might have been further down on the list, but this is also something to consider because, well, it does a pretty good amount of damage with those moves. Ursaring, I suppose. But like we went over, a lot of the normal types that are actually going to be useful do have a dual typing. So as far as, you know, maxing out a Regigigas, is it actually going to be something you want to do? Not really. You might as well just hold on to your resources. It's not really worth it. There's always going to be something else better in taking its place. And then, of course, we have the amazing Porygon Z. I really can't wait for that to get its community day, which I do believe is going to happen. So look out for that. Anyways, normal typings, not exactly the most useful around unless they do have a dual typing, unfortunately. So looking at my Regigigas here, this is the one that I did receive from my Colossal event, and it didn't, you know, have horrible IVs. I'm really not too concerned about that. Let's go ahead and put my rare candies into this. Well, we're going to get ready. If we can get this video, like I said, up to 1,500 likes, I will put the rare candies into it and the Stardust. I will completely max it out. We'll go to a gym, we'll go to a raid to see the performance. Now, I might just, you know, I have another EX raid later today, or a EX raid. Hopefully I get a decent hidden power that might be actually useful to me instead of hidden power fire. Although I can probably find some sort of usability for that. At least I'm going to be getting, you know, super effective damage on steel types, you know, as opposed to having normal and, you know, something that's not very effective to it, as well as getting an impact, not very effective to rock and steel. But yeah, yep, let's see if you guys can do it. If you want to see me suffer, get this video up there and I will completely max it out later, or whenever this does take place. I don't know how long that'll take exactly, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up if it did help you out. Subscribe if you're new, share it with a friend, and get the word around on how to take out Regigigas. Although it's not that big of a secret, just go in there and punch it with Machamps. Alright, anyways, thank you for watching, traders, and I will be catching you all next time. Take care.